Hey teachers, I have a surprise for you. I know that if I were to ask the question, which are the top 3 most frustrating reading skills that you teach your students, I almost guarantee you that every one of you would raise your hand and say summarizing somewhere on that list. And I get it. It's a really difficult skill for students to understand how to apply independently when they're reading. So, like I said, I have a gift for you today. We're going to walk through some amazing mini lessons that you can do with your students that apply to any text and you can do right away that will help your students understand summaries in a more unique way than maybe they had before. All right? So get ready. We're going to walk through these mini lessons together. And then, of course, at the end, I've got a freebie link for you that you can go and download and get not just the mini lessons I'm talking about today, but even more. So make sure to stay tuned to the end and grab that freebie link so you can go and download these amazing mini lessons. And again, apply them to any text and really see your students soar with success when you're focusing on summary. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about mini lesson number 1. This is one of my favorite ones, and it's honestly one of the most challenging ones that I teach. I think one of the things is, one of the issues with summarizing is there's just so much information in the story in which they're trying to include. So how do we help our students limit the amount of information? Here's a little trick. Do a lesson where your students are only allowed to write a summary in 10 words. Exactly. No more, no less, exactly 10 words. That's the challenge. And I guarantee you, your students are going to be so motivated by this challenge that they're really going to put a lot of heart and thought into this. And they're going to come out on top understanding what is truly the most important details and information in this text that would create this 10-word summary. So you could model this by going through, reading a very familiar text. Maybe you found a one-page text about Cinderella, something very familiar with your class, and you can go through and model reading it, maybe underlining some important information like different story elements, character setting, plot, problem solution, those pieces, and then taking that underlined or highlighted information and creating your 10-word summary with that. And then you would turn it to the students, again, have them use a very familiar text, something that's not very heavy lift on the comprehension side, something that they're used to understanding already. Maybe it's a text you used yesterday, doesn't matter. And you're going to have them do the same. Read the text, kind of highlight or underline those important key information story elements, and then see if they can create a 10-word exact summary. It's really cool. You got to kind of manipulate words here and there because words like the and I and is, like, they count. So being able to use those along with information, it's tricky. It can be done, and it's super, super fun too. Let me know what you think about the 10-word summary in the comments below. I can't wait to see if you've tried this strategy or not, or if this is something you're going to do in the future. All right, so I've got another one for you, another amazing mini lesson. I think this one is a great one because it really focuses on something that students really do struggle with when they're writing summaries. And this goes especially down into the younger grades, because if you struggle to write a summary, more often than not, you are struggling with the strategy of determining importance. Those two things go together like peas and carrots, okay? So this mini lesson focuses on finding relevant versus irrelevant information in a story in order to find and write a summary. So here's what you're going to do. Before you read a text, you're going to use either those sentence strips that you can find at like the Dollar Tree, or you can use just basic index cards, or you could type it, doesn't matter, just something quick and simple. And on each index card, you're going to write relevant and irrelevant information from the story. So maybe you have 5 relevant cards and 5 irrelevant cards. You want to kind of keep it even. And then what you're going to do is you're going to read the story with the students, and then you're going to sort the cards on a T-chart based on relevant versus irrelevant information. Now, it doesn't stop there. As you're discussing this relevant versus irrelevant, of course, you're having the conversation of why. Why do we know this is relevant versus irrelevant? And then at the very end, you're going to take all the cards from the relevant side, reanalyze and evaluate them, and use them to create your summary. So of course, then you want to repeat this, turn it around and let the students do it with a brand new text, see if they can find their relevant and irrelevant information, and see if they can then use the relevant information to create their summary. So it kind of gives the students almost a step-by-step process for when they are independent. They know that they are looking for and reading for relevant information in order to take that, condense it, and use it in a summary. So again, it's all about having them become independent with these strategies and these skills. And this is a great mini lesson to really show them what their brain should be doing in order to be successful when teaching summaries. All right. Don't go anywhere. I've got another one for you. Here we go. This one is really cool. Kind of puts a little twist on a very popular summarizing strategy. So give me a thumbs up, a heart, or anything if you have heard of and or used the somebody wanted but so then SWABOT, sometimes people call it, strategy for summarizing, right? It's very popular. I did not invent that. No, it's okay. But here's a really cool lesson you can do in a mini lesson for or with that strategy. So of course, you will need to have pre-taught what those letters mean, somebody wanted, but, so, and then, and how they are used to create summaries, okay? Then for this mini lesson, what you're going to do is you're going to have pre-written summaries already written out, typed up for, again, very familiar text. You don't want to have the lift of them having to comprehend a brand new text and then do this activity. You want to make that lift very simple because we want their focus to be really on the strategy and the ins and outs of using this strategy, okay? Later, then they can apply it to a brand new text. What you're going to do is when you write these summaries with somebody wanted, but, so, and then, you are going to leave out one of the letters. So maybe in one of them, you leave out the somebody. Maybe in the next one that you write, you leave out the so. So basically, when your students are reading these, you're going to hold up the book, maybe say, hey, do you remember reading this book last month? You know, whatever, kind of get it fresh in their minds just real quick in 30 seconds. And then you're going to show them a summary that you wrote for the book. But you're going to tell them something's missing. Can we figure out what? What makes this summary incomplete? What important key detail is missing? Then you can have them see if they can figure out whether it's the S, the W, the B, the other S, or the T. And then you would repeat that with other summaries that you have written and other familiar texts. And it's just super cool. The students really like finding what's missing, seeing if they can, challenge the teacher. Or you can even make it into like a, hey, I've written these really good summaries, but I want you to grade them. Students always like being able to tell the teacher that they're wrong, of course. So make it fun, make it exciting, and you can kind of turn it into that fun activity. So great mini lesson there, again, to support summarizing. So like I said, summarizing is really difficult, and putting some unique and fun twists on it when you're using your summarizing mini lessons can really help your students see this strategy or this skill as black and white as possible rather than this crazy gray and very difficult skill. So I have more mini lessons for you. You can grab them all in one easy printout. Then you can grab this, put it in your lesson plan book, or your summarizing folder for later. So when you go to teach summarizing, you have 5 amazing mini lessons that you can pull out and use, again, with any text. It's fantastic. So make sure to grab the link. It is in the description. Make sure to click that See More button below. If you can't see the link itself, it's there, I promise. So thank you so much for tuning. I hope you learned a lot talking about summarizing and have some new and exciting mini lessons to try when you are back in the classroom. But before you go, let me know which one is your favorite. I want to hear. Are you liking the what's missing? Do you like the sorting of relevant versus irrelevant? Or do you like the 10-word summaries? Let me know below which one's your favorite, and then go off and have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk soon. Bye, everyone.